Welcome to the Breaking Up with Naive podcast, where it's not heartbreak, it's a rebrand. I'm your host, Dr. Becky Rollerson. This is a place where my friends and I share our stories of heartbreak in life, combined with our testimonies of how being a Christ follower led us to surviving the heartbreak and to rebuilding healthy lives. While the stories shared here are relevant and true, it is important to note that I am not a trained counselor, not a trained mental health counselor, nor someone who assesses mental health. If you feel that you need help in that area, I encourage you to please seek medical guidance. The testimonies shared here on this podcast are intended to encourage and inspire other women to be less naive when it comes to Satan's ugly ways. With that, welcome to today's episode of Breaking Up with Naive. Hello, listeners, and welcome to Breaking Up with Naive. It's not heartbreak, it's a rebrand. So today's episode, I have another very special guest who I'm really excited to introduce to you. This guest and I went to high school together, and we're only 1 year apart in age. I won't say who's older. And we had a nice relationship. I would say that we weren't super close, but everybody in our little town knew everybody. So we had the opportunity to interact a lot. So I would love to introduce to you Miss Jennifer Fowler. Jennifer, welcome to the show today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here with you.
So Jennifer has had quite the story, and I will tell you, this is one of the guests that I actually asked to be on the show, and that's because I have been following her journey for several years now, and she has really motivated me in so many ways. And although our issues are slightly different from each other, I have just watched her resilience and her strength and her continual pursuit of reaching her goals. So, Jennifer, I'm going to start out with just letting you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I'll introduce listeners to the main topic today.
Okay. Jennifer, I'm married for almost 30 years. I've got 2 grown boys. I am a fast food manager. I've been in that business for a little over 6 years. I came out of social work after Hurricane Michael and just kind of went a whole nother direction, but that's kind of part of the story and how we are where we are right now. Hurricane Michael caused me to, I lived in Panama City for about 10 years prior to Hurricane Michael, and my husband and I, the kids and all that. And our home was irreparably damaged. And we were renting, but still it wasn't livable afterwards. And we ended up living with my father and my mom for almost a year before we found a place to stay in Bonifay, which, at 40 something years old, and you're living with your parents, with your husband and one of your kids, it was quite a lot and overwhelming. And it was kind of where I had already been on a health journey at that point, and I was a little bit above my lowest weight, I guess, because my lowest weight at that point was like 289, and I was super stoked. But then it went up like a week or so after that, and then it never came back down. But I kept it right around 299, and I felt really great about that because I maintained for a really long time, like 3 years almost at that point. And Hurricane Michael, and things were so stressful, and I tried to work in Panama City afterwards. That led to even much more stress because everything was so horrific there. And I was doing social work with the Children's Advocacy Center and going to homes that nobody else was going to, and helping people. And ultimately I chose to find work here. And that's how I ended up back at Burger King for the first time, and met a really great woman, and she gave me a chance, and it's really just been a great relationship ever since. Anyways, I feel that all happened, Hurricane Michael, everything happened because I didn't know my dad was going to pass away from COVID.
Wow.
And so I got to live that whole year with him before that. And I would have never had that opportunity had it not been for Hurricane Michael. And I wouldn't have had that chance to have that closeness with him that I was always close with my dad, but it's a different level when you're living with him again,
Absolutely.
And so I think that was just all part of it. Everything, it all happened just to be for that. Because I honestly thought my dad was going to live till he was like 100, because that was just the kind of man he was. So needless to say, it was just completely out of nowhere for me. I don't think it was a surprise to him. He said from the pulpit about 100 times, if God wants COVID to take me home, and that's what's going to take me home. And it was just like, it was almost as if he knew or something. I don't know. But anyways, after he passed away, I had a lot of problems with anxiety. And I started turning back to my old comfort of food. Food had always comforted me from every hurt that I ever had as a child. And that's just a lot of trauma in the childhood. Even though I had an amazing dad, um, I had a mom who didn't make really great decisions when she was younger. And
Understood.
because of that, I went through a lot of things that were just really not good and were quite unnecessary. I'm thankful that she is a Christian now, and that her and my dad reconnecting kind of just brought everything full circle there. When he and her reconnected, and see, this is where I get lost on my on how things happen, because it's just there's so much emotion with all of that. Um,
It starts to become somewhat of a blur because of
it does,
everything
and it's just kind
happening
of like
all.
it's like everything's in a whirlwind, and like I just know all these things happen, but I don't necessarily know when they happened and things like that. My mom and I talk about how trauma makes us forget everything that we ever knew. And there's like, I jokingly say I have Swiss cheese memory.
Little
I
holes in
do,
it.
because it's like there's big holes and gaps of my childhood, but yet there's some things that are just clear as me looking at you right now on the camera. And it's just weird, you know. But that is I guess, the nut of my story is that food was my comfort to take me away from everything that I wanted to escape from, always.
Well,
And I used it,
I
yeah.
just love that your testimony really it goes so far back, and I think that's something that is so interesting, and I think a lot of listeners can identify with that kind of trauma or anxiety really many times goes back to things in childhood, and then it continues to transpire, and then it feels like things like Hurricane Michael, or this building of these challenges on top
Yeah.
of challenges on top of challenges. So what a blessing, though, that you can turn that very terrible day in October to a positive aspect of getting to spend some time with your dad.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, then the story past that. But I also think a lot of listeners can relate to the fact that anxiety, a lot of people deal with that by eating or
Yeah.
overeating or the comfort of food. So, yeah, keep telling me about that aspect and how you got motivated at some point that you needed to lose it.
Well, so after dad passed and I was having so many other issues with anxiety, and I was eating my feelings all the time. And I got so disappointed in myself because like I knew better. I knew exactly what I was doing to myself, but I didn't care at that point for a while. I
Mm-hmm.
tried medications, and that resulted in a disaster. I mean, I
Oh.
had a full blown like panic attack breakdown at work with a teenager and a cook.
Oh gosh. And
um,
that and you
so
feel like that was due because of the medications you were on at the time, or just a
yes,
okay.
yes. I mean, the anxiety was getting so bad. Like I was just like a bundle of nerves. I didn't want to go to work. I was like shutting down. And so then the food was the comfort. You know, that was easy. I could deal with food. That was not a decision I had to make. It was just right there. But that led me to being very sick. I
Mm.
ultimately got all the way back up to 365 pounds as far as I know. I had already lost some weight when I finally actually like weighed, because I could tell my clothes were fitting differently already. Probably wasn't a lot, probably about 20 pounds. So I could have been even closer to 400 at that point again. And that was really devastating when I realized that I had almost, got almost all the way back up to where I was. And
Because I guess at that point, whether you're stepping on the scale or not, you can feel it. You just
yes, I was
know.
miserable. My knees hurt, my everything hurt, all my joints in my body hurt, and I was out of breath all the time, sweating so much because it's just, hard to move your body around. And also with your sugars being out of control and your insulin being all crazy and all that stuff, you're going to sweat and just be miserable. Like it's just always miserable. In general, not feeling good. To my doctor, and I give a lot of credit to the medication, but honestly, the medication was just a tool that helped fire me up, because for the first time, the medication helped me have control over food in my life. I never ever experienced that before. And it was mind blowing to me that I had something, it made me realize that there was really just probably something wrong with my brain that I wasn't aware of, causing me to literally be addicted to food and at some point, and um, succumbing to what it's a buzzword right now, and I hate that, but food noise is real. It is so real. And if you ever experience any kind of addiction, having a food addiction is really crappy because you have to eat.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have to eat food.
those terms don't just come out of nowhere. Those terms like food noise exist because it is a real thing and people experience it.
It is, and it's so distracting, and it consumes a lot of your time without you even realizing it. And I'm just, so having that one thing change for me just like opened my mind again to the possibilities. And I had prayed about it before talking with my doctor about going to that medication, because I was scared. It was still new to me.
Sure.
It's not a new medication at all. It was not then, but to me it was. And so I was a little bit scared. And so I prayed about it, and I talked to my doctor, and she was like, because of how bad I did on metformin, she thought it would be good for me to try Manjaro. So I did. And so again, it was a catalyst, and it encouraged me. And every little bit of encouragement helps. It helps continue to motivate me. So I think that was just one of a turning point, I guess. A turning
Definitely.
point. And yeah, it have that renewed sense of want to live, to want, not to necessarily want to live. I never wanted to die. I never was not that kind of a person, but to really want to do something for me, to be better, to feel better, and to look better even, and to just feel comfortable in my own body, to be able to fit into things and fit into places and not worry about things. I wanted all of that. And now that I'm so close to the goal, I can't believe I'm 34 pounds away from my goal. Like, I lost 173 pounds, or yeah, 173? No, 176. 176 pounds. And I
It's
can't
just
even believe
astounding.
it. I can't even believe it.
And I've been watching your journey because you've been posting to your Instagram and your Facebook. And so I am watching this and interacting with it as much as I could just because I would
Thank
like want to
you.
be cheering. I'm so
Yes.
happy for you to see the successes. But I know that like the ups and downs with this, right? And so,
Yes.
in fact, just a little bit ago, we were talking about how there's been weeks that you're like, okay, this was the goal, and then you didn't hit the goal, and how disappointing that could be in that
Yes.
moment. We've talked about this too, that Satan will tell us all kinds of lies. And sometimes Satan uses people to say things that hit us the wrong way and then also become
Yes.
discouraging. So it's a little bit of all the things. But tell me about maybe some different lies that you felt like Satan was telling you that time that you really had to pray up and spiritually work through to be able to keep going towards your goal.
Well, not going to lie, at one point there was certain side effects that were very, very discouraging, and everything got really hard for a while. And I that was did a lot of praying during that time too, because I was like, Lord, this is a tool that I need right now, or at least I feel like I need, and I need you to help me work through this to get through the physical things that are a problem. So that was, getting past that part was great, but then trying to make time for myself and to realize that I'm important enough to make time for,
Mm,
and not just, I'm not just here to go to work and come home.
yeah, the
Like, I
self
think
care part.
that's, yes, yes. And say, no, I am going to take time for myself, and you guys are just going to have to wait for me this time. I've always had a very hard time to do that. It's very hard to put me before other people. And so that is definitely one of the lies, because Satan will definitely tell you that you don't deserve to be putting yourself first. You don't need to take that time for yourself, because why? What's it going to do? You already got a husband, whatever. But it's not about that. I want to feel better. I just want to be able to move and walk and jump and skip if I want. I mean, I ran on the treadmill. That blew my mind. Like, once it started happening, I was like, I almost couldn't stop until I accidentally turned the treadmill off. But you know, Satan will tell you that you can't do any of these things, and I was scared to push that speed up. I was scared, but I'm like, I'm just keep going a little bit faster, and I did it for a whole minute. Like 30 seconds was great, right? But then I did it for a whole minute and I couldn't believe it.
And you're like, I just ran for a minute. And
Yes.
that's
I
such
mean,
a
I was just,
huge accomplishment.
yes. I mean, I caused me to sob. I mean, like, I have been the biggest person I know for the majority of my life, probably since I was about 14 or 15 years old, actually, the high school time. There might have been two people in high school that were as big or bigger than me, and we both know who they are. And one has passed away. God rest her soul. I miss her. I see her kid all the time.
Oh,
Barbara. I mean, I
yeah,
know you know who I'm talking about.
I do. I
Um,
do.
and honestly, when she lost her weight, she got surgery and she lost a bunch of weight, and she got very unhealthy afterwards. And that was, I was almost at that point myself of wanting to do surgery. Again, I was praying to God, please let there be another way. I feel like surgery, it is for some people, and it's great, and some people do really wonderful, but I was just scared. And I just didn't think if I was scared of it, then it wasn't for me, you know. And that was another time I turned to God, and that's, I feel again, he led me in the right direction, back to a doctor who listens to what I say and works with me and helps me and believes me and listens, and all just brings it back, you know.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about, I know you have a husband and children, and tell me about maybe a little bit of the support system that you had and their role in this journey for you.
Okay, that's a great one. So my husband is a pretty good cheerleader. At one point he told me, he said, "You're gonna leave me." I'm like, "No, it's not about that. That's not what none of this is about." And but he's always cheering me on and supporting me, and I honestly don't know what I would do without him. My kids, I love being a mom. My youngest still lives with us, and he says stuff all the time. Like, Mom, something about being skinny and things like that. And I don't know. It's just, they support me big time. And I don't know where I would be without them. They're always the ones cheering me on and telling me that yes, that looks good, or you can do that. Yeah, yeah, you know. Um, so yeah, I couldn't ask for a better family. And then my mom is on a health journey right now too. When Dad passed away and everything happened, and I started getting healthy, and she started working on getting healthy. She said, I couldn't let myself go after you just lost your dad because I just didn't think that would be fair to you.
Oh, wow.
And I said, well, thank you. And so it's like, she's my daily diet check-in buddy. Like every day we're sending each other pictures of our food and keeping up with each other, you know, sharing our weigh-ins and stuff like that, of course. And so that has been truly instrumental and not just having what do you call it, like an accountability buddy or whatever,
Yeah,
but
it's accountability and a parallel journey. Somebody
the
who's kind of going through the
restoration
journey
of
with you.
the restoration and completion of the circle with the relationship with my mom, going from the things that she messed up on when we were kids, so to speak, and God has shown her that it's okay. You know, you didn't know then what you know now, and you didn't know me then like you know me now.
Yes.
So yeah, that's been really awesome to see too. So I really have a couple of testimonies going on, I guess, really, because watching my mom blossom and bloom like that has been really incredible. And just having her as like my best friend. I never thought I would have that when I was growing up because we were at odds with each other for one reason or the other, you know, me being the oldest daughter, being a daddy's girl. My daddy lived up here, I lived down there until high school, you know, so a lot of conflict, of course, because I saw her as why I couldn't be with dad, right?
Oh, I
Especially
gotcha.
when you're dad's little girl.
Yeah.
Um, at least subconsciously, I'm sure I felt that way. I can't see that now. I really can't, but
And
um,
that's again, like that is such the way that God works when he restores something. When
yeah,
people who truly believe in him and pray for it, he will restore it. And it's not always in the way you think. You probably never dreamed in a million years that you would be on a parallel journey for weight loss and health with your mom.
no,
And
never.
you'd have never thought that, but that's how the Lord works. He gave you both something to be able to bond over and connect with and to be best friends with.
Yes, And it's been great. It's been great. I mean, she's literally passing me down her clothes, although now we're so close in size. It's pretty funny that we're so close in size now. Like I'm about one size bigger than her, and never thought that would ever happen. To literally be the smallest person in my family besides my mom is pretty crazy. Although my little sister, one of my younger sisters, she's also on a health journey. She's went from like a size 18 to a size 10.
So just in hearing you speak about your relationship with your mom and even with your dad and how special that relationship was growing up, and then also the fact that one of your sisters is on a weight loss journey. And it's interesting because one of my sisters is on a weight loss journey, and both my sisters and I, all three of us, have struggled. And I think some of that's just being a woman, and then some of that's genetics and just things, and then some of it's lifestyle. It's just this combination of things, right? And different things that have happened in life. But tell me a little bit about where you are now. So we know that you have lost a significant 176 pounds, you said.
Yes.
So tell me about where you are now. And I know you're getting close to your goal, and what your plans are for getting yourself to that goal.
So my plans, I have about 30 pounds to the goal, and I have started going to the gym. That was my most recent addition to changing up my routine. And then, of course, I promptly got sick the week after I joined the gym.
That happens.
So right. I missed like a week and a half, and I'm like, really? You say you're going to go 3 days out of the week, and then here you get sick and you're out for a week and a half. But anyways, I'm going to add this strength and resistance training in to get ready for the next stage of the weight loss, which would be the skin removal surgery. I have picked up the phone to call to make the consultation appointment like at least a half a dozen times. And I chicken out the last minute every time because a couple of reasons, actually. One, finances. It's, the two different places that I really want to try having a consult at. One is in Miami, and the other is in Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm hearing so many good things about the Miami area because it's very competitive down there.
Okay.
And so with the competitiveness and all of that, you will have, some doctors will not work on you if you haven't been at your goal for a significant amount of time. And I'm not trying to wait. When I hit my goal, I want to go. So I've got to find the right doctor who will say, okay, let's do it. I just can't, I'm at the age, I don't want to waste any more time waiting for somebody to tell me I can do something.
Right.
So I'm determined to find someone who will do what I want to do. And then it's going to be figuring out how to pay for it. I know that part of it could potentially be covered by insurance, potentially, but I'm probably going to have to figure out a way to fundraise. So that is what we're working toward. We're working towards that last 35 pounds to get the consultation set so that we can see what's next. And I mean, I kind of have an idea of what I would like to have done. I mostly am focused on the midsection area because I'm sure you've heard the term apron belly. I have a terrible one. Well, I mean, I had 2 C-sections. So, and I was already obese when I got pregnant the first time. I mean, I was over 300 pounds, and then I got pregnant on top of it and gained, I don't even know how much, because back then I wouldn't even let the nurse tell me how much I weighed. I was in complete denial about weight and all of that stuff.
Like, just don't tell me, I don't want to know.
And so then by my second pregnancy, I didn't really lose. I lost a little bit of the weight from my first son, but it's only about 2 years in between. And then I was pregnant again. And with my second one, there was had a lot of problems. The gestational diabetes and blood pressure.
Right.
And so anyways, all that, the skin, nothing is going back.
It's not that elastic.
Nothing. So I just want to focus on I think it's what I'm going to need is it's like a fleur de lis with a muscle repair.
Okay.
Or something like a tummy tuck 360. I don't remember there's a couple different names, and I haven't quite figured out all of which ones are which.
But you've done some research because you know that much. And so you've done some research and you have a goal.
Go all the way around in order for me to have any kind of results that I want to have. So, and I'm not looking for perfection. I don't ever care if I wear a bikini. It's more about mobility and health issues.
That makes total sense. It does.
Yes. I mean, I have the biggest problem right now, as far as mobility goes, is jumping, running, any kind of fast movement is painful. The belly just moves in ways that hurt. The skin is not meant to be stretched. It's not stretch and pull and jerk around like that. I mean, it's painful. And compression gear is expensive and experimental because just be real, when you buy something, you really don't have any idea what you're getting until you put it on and figure out if it's going to work for you or not.
You are right about that.
Yes.
And it's different for each woman, depending on your shape and everything else.
Yeah. Yes, everyone's shape is. I finally found there is a woman I found on Facebook who her body shape is very much like mine right now. Very small up top, and then all the weight being mostly concentrated around her abdomen and upper thigh area. Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't really have that problem in my upper thighs. My thighs are only like 23 inches. My mom measured them, and I was like blown away that they were that small. And I have a thigh gap, first time in my life. Like, I don't even think I had that when I was a teenager. So I had chubby thighs.
You're like, what is this? How is this supposed to work?
Right. I'm gonna take a picture of myself, and I'm like, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, so that's where I'm at. I'm at that last little section, and I'm trying to work up the nerve, but to go ahead and schedule consults. That's where we're at.
Again, so proud of you. And your testimony is so unique, and yet it's so universal to so many women and men. There are a lot of men who are also on a weight loss journey. I mean, particularly our target audience for this particular podcast is women, but there are men who are going through the same thing. So in all of your goals for where you want to go, I know that you have been very vulnerable and been open and sharing on your social media. So I wanted to give you the opportunity, because I know like your Instagram page is public and you are open to sharing this journey. So I wanted to give you a chance to share your Instagram handle and tell us a little bit about your TikTok store and some of the other things that you have.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So thankfully, I was smart about one thing, and that was I kept everything tagged or tied to the name Jennifer is Losing It, all one word. So if you search for any of those on any social media platform that I'm on, you'll find it. I am on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I can't do Twitter or any of those other things. It's too much. I feel like proud of myself that I've learned how to do TikTok. So,
well, you have to pick your media and then go with it, right? So on all of those, again, all one word, Jennifer is losing it. Jennifer is losing it, all one word.
Yep. And I promote several things on my TikTok shop. I have found a couple of items that I really do believe in, which is funny. And one of them is my little ring light. I'll show you, because it was only $6 and it's a little lifesaver to stick on your phone to be able to take, you know what I'm saying? It's great. And it's rechargeable, no need for batteries or none of that. And it fits in your purse. So this is the one that I'm going to really try to promote, and I get like $1 off of each one. So every dollar will help, because we all know plastic surgery is expensive. And I'm trying to work on saving up all my vacation time that I can between now and next year, because the dream is to be scheduled for surgery at least by my 51st birthday.
I have no doubt that this is going to happen. And, you know, I hope that my listeners will also join us both in prayer for you for that goal.
Please and thank you.
And again, like, you know, I mean, it happens in mysterious ways, and it may not turn out exactly like you had planned for it to, because God has a bigger plan. But that part is the part that you trust to keep you going towards this goal.
Absolutely.
Well, I just appreciate you sharing today. And I do want to take this opportunity to tell listeners and just remind them that neither Jennifer nor I are mental health counselors.
Nope.
And neither one of us are medical physicians. If you feel like you need help in the mental health area, you need to seek a licensed counselor. And if you are on your own weight loss journey, just like Jennifer has her own medical doctor and doctors that she works with, you would want to find somebody to help you on that journey and make specific recommendations for you and your health as well. So I'm just so thankful that Jennifer has had that opportunity to work with medical personnel and to be able to guide her on this journey, and will continue to as you seek a skincare specialist, I guess, you know, for the skin removal and for the plastic surgery. So again, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any last minute just tips for somebody who finds themselves in a similar position as you?
Believe in yourself and don't neglect the little daily steps that you can take, because every day you can do just one little thing that will help you get a little bit closer, whether it's drinking a little extra water one day or making sure you get that 15-minute walk or whatever in. Every little thing you do every day all adds up, and it will all take you towards your goal. So don't discount anything, no matter how small you think it is. It will all help you get there. It's because it just, all those little steps add up to
It
get you to
all
that
counts.
end.
It all counts for something.
Yep.
And pray, pray, pray.
And pray. Oh, yes, ma'am. Pray, pray, pray.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And just remember, listeners, it's not a heartbreak, it's a rebrand. And until next time. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Breaking Up with Naive. It's not a heartbreak, it's a rebrand.